Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. As I was speaking about the very gaps of whatever that is happening, let me take the epilogue 2 as a part of reference to certain aspects which I was talking in my videos, in my 28 videos about Nada Bindu Kala and Nada Bindu Kala, which basically, if we take from the etymological front or the very meaning of the very aspect of the study of the humanoid or the human existence. Furthermore, as I said, the gray areas or, you can say anything like areas wherein, a need for the, improvisation or need for improving. That's when we would be able to get to a conclusion wherein, we can at least get certain solutions out of it. Unfortunately, I don't know why all the scholars or, scientists or, philosophers or, we have many dimensions to it, factors and cofactors affecting various from various corners. Maybe it could be due to the lack of understanding, maybe it could be ignorance, or maybe it could be tailoring of the very subject of the Vedas and Upanishads from the objective front, being replaced with the, automative process. Why I am telling automative process, not from the technical front, but from the mindfulness front. This is harsh and hard reality though. I cannot really comment on this. Why teachers, why gurus are really not getting to that point, beyond a point of word or beyond a point of that expression, whatever that is there in Natya Shastra. Whether it is Tillanas, whether it is male karta ragas, 72 male karta ragas, or Dwadasha Saptaswaras, Swarasthanas, or maybe, it's not maybe, but it's straight and upfront. I am telling, like, why are we ignoring Bijaksharas or those Aksharas which really affect? That's the point which I want to talk about. Are we really having, like, a deaf ear for what you call whatever works that Shyama Shastri or Dikshitar or Tyagaraja or Annamaya or you name it, or Shankaracharya in his 32 years of Advent? We are just, like, keeping them aside and, we are locking them in a closed doors. That's it. Are those scriptures, are these scriptures really, like, to be kept in that? Why aren't we really looking or going forward to understand? As I said, during dance performance or during classical music rendition, I see them to be misused to a large extent. I see a classical dance being performed by a performer for a film music. Of course, music has never said that it should not be used for entertainment purposes. But there are certain exceptional music compositions. Not every concert, not every music composition, every composition of a classical music is what you call to be misused that way. That way out, what happens is it gives negative vibrations to the one who is viewing or watching or listening. That's what is my concern. It directly affects his or her conscious state of mind at a higher conscious level. That's the point which I want to talk about. That's okay if people say whatever that you are speaking doesn't make any sense. I'm ready to have an argument on that. Likewise, Siddhendra Yogi. Most of them say Siddhendra Yogi existed in Kashi. Some of them told near Kuchipudi. Some of them told near to that place. Some of them told other place, this place, etc., etc. Likewise, Shankaracharya. I tried to investigate and I tried to, look at those places. Unfortunately, whatever that is being told as per theory, existing theory in the 21st century, there is a big mismatch. There is a big mismatch. Likewise, if I really look at the technological advancement, which has already been told, as I was explaining using the Bijaksharas, there is an equation that has come up. There is an equation, definitely, which more or less talks about it. From the science front or from the math front. Mathematical calculations are always there. And today I see that astrology also is having what you call a strong mismatch of the calculations part. I don't see any of the genuine astrologer really talking about it by and large. And from the science of sound and vibrational point of view, when there are certain frequencies fixed, why is this human existence not understanding that? Why is it affecting himself at the same time affecting the others in and around, in the surroundings? Have we ever understood that? Crossing those decibels? From the medical front, if a human body has certain compositions, as I said, they are born like that. If I am born like a male, I am a male. That's it. I will not have any other qualities. If I try to replace it also, it doesn't work out that way for me. It will, in fact, create more disturbance in my body and more disturbance at a higher conscious level. So, why is medical science so hell-bent towards that? Towards, in fact, like, they are actually trying to violate the very aspect of, theology, theory stated. I can understand about the test tube baby, or I can understand about the sperms. That's the latest for someone who is not having kids. I can understand that. But not this. To this level. As I was speaking in my previous video about the Bindukala, Nada Bindukala, and Kala, and the etymological meaning of the same. Let us try getting much further with the Saptama, Ashtama, Navama, Navama, Ekadashama, Dashama, Dwadashama Swara aspects here. In the epilogue, I am speaking because Ekaswara to Shashtamaswara, not a problem. But today I see that from Saptamaswara, Ashtamaswara, Navamaswara, Dashamaswara, Ekadashamaswara, Dwadashamaswara, people are using neck and crop, left, right, and center, and trying to misuse the very aspect of the strong power or strong energy levels that exist. That's the point which I want to talk about. This is the highest level, by the by, in a classical music front. From the classical music front, if I am talking, from the Natya Shastra's point of view, it actually touches upon the, terrestrial level, at a terrestrial level, interterrestrial level, intraterrestrial level, interterrestrial level, highest level of terrestrial existence, wherein you will be like, directly getting in touch with the spirits, higher spirits. If these are misused for a negative purposes, that's where the harm happens for a human existence. If it happens for one humanoid, that's enough. That's enough for this human existence to, creep like a virus, which one needs to understand. Have we ever understood that? Kamakhya. Definitely, Kamakhya Devi has that invisible, strong power deep within. Not that it does not have, but it is only for that sadhaka, for that sadhaka who has that capacity to deal with. I'm sorry to say this, but I have seen astrologer using for the all wrong means, not understanding the internal meaning of Kamakhya Devi's mantras. This is where that mantra tantra yantra's exploitation is happening. Having said to maintain caution while getting into the advanced level, see, I have always used word of caution, or I wanted everyone to be cautious, specifically for higher level of Bijaksharas. Why did I say that? The reason is, not everyone can withhold. Not every one of us, including me, are Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, or Ramana Maharshi, or Kanchi Paramacharya, or Shirdi Sai Baba, or Swami Vivekananda, to name a few of the group, hand-picked group, or Shankaracharya here. Why is it that we are hell-bent towards that? And why is our society getting misled? And I will not blame what you call human beings or that individual who has been following. I will blame for the one who has initiated this, who is giving that initiation. Specifically when it comes to the Srividya Tantra, Vamachara and Kaulachara part. That's not for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Then why are we actually like propagating that in the name of mantra, tantra and yantra? That's the point which I want to talk about. And why are we exploiting the very aspect of Saptamaswara, Ashtamaswara sthana, Navamaswara sthana, Dashamaswara sthana, Ekadashamaswara sthana, Dwadashamaswara sthana? It's okay if there are many experimentations done. Not every one of us are Ustad Bismillah Khan. Not every one of us Mangalampalli Balamurli Krishna. Not every one of us are Shyama Shastri. Not every one of us are Dikshitar. Or not every one of us are what you call Annamaya. Or not every one of us are Tyagarajas over here. See, they had those supernatural powers wherein they could keep everything deep within. And this is where actually I was talking about the Guru's aspect. A right Guru never speaks out. Think about it. Today I see that in the name of classical music or in the name of classical dance form, with a view of understanding Natya Shastra at a very contextual and conceptual understanding, being very basis of it, none of them are able to actually get into that. Neither they are going beyond a word of it. That is the part of it. That's the sad part of it. Next, coming to the Sanskrit language. Sansarkrit language. Here itself you have Bijaksharas. Sakara, Akara, Nakara. Sakara again, Akara. Kakara, Rakara, Ikara. Takara, Ikara. Takara, Hakara. It ends with Hakara there. So, if we really see these Bijaksharas, that is the reason why Sanskrit language is a divine language. It's not just that you merely speak out. Just because you are speaking, that doesn't mean that you are propagating the divine energy force. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that it is what you call, I might be sounding harsh and hard, but that's a fact which one needs to understand. And when you are doing all of this, the energy levels emitted due to chanting will be far more heavier and higher than the humanoid can take. Not everyone on this earthly existence can take these powers and maintain that equilibrium state of mind or equal, maintain that balance. Understand this. As I said, to name a few are Dikshitar, Shyama Shastri, Shirdi Sai Baba, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Kanchi Paramacharya, Swami Vivekananda. These energy levels enumerate, whole of the composition of the humanoid from DNA, RNA, chromosomes, blood, you name it, enzymes in the body. And today doctors from the medical front are manipulating whole of this with what you call by giving them HRT, hormonal replacement therapy. And they are operating the male body by converting to female, by adding those to those body parts, to breasts and vaginal, whatever it is. When Sri Tattva is so pure and it has its own place there, how can a medical science do that blunder? And why is medical science so adamant on that? That is what is my point. Are we not breaking the very rule of the human existence? This is what actually did we learn from the Shastras or Vedas or Upanishads? Is this what Shankaracharya told? Classic example for that is, when Shankaracharya was questioned about sexual intercourse in his Mandala Kala, he did a Parakaya Pravesha or got into the bird, dead king, to understand this. And he explained. And when Chandala asked him a question, are you looking at what you call which person are you telling to go away from your side? Is that your Atman deep within? With the energies, whatever it is on contrary, which has not been explained, though in the movies. But when Chandala, the reason for Chandala coming opposite to Shankaracharya was this reason to explain that difference, ladies and gentlemen, at a higher conscious level. And Shankaracharya getting into the king's body for 41 days or a Mandala Kala, he was trying to explain this is the way one needs to be. Have we tried getting into that? We do not want to get into that. We just want to understand the subject at a subliminal level. We just want to understand that, that Chandala came opposite to Shankaracharya. That's it. And he asked, which person are you trying to say? Are you telling him to go off your path? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. It has a meaning in it. Likewise, Mohini Bhasmasura. Mohini coming and Mohini dancing and this Bhasmasura getting enticed with her beauty. He wants everything. You are just trying to understand that, from that front itself. You need to go beyond a point there. Have we ever thought about it? So, as I said, though this is what is called higher energy levels, that's the reason why I am using this very line. Thus making the body vulnerable to external forces wherein the sadhakas have gone through. These saptaswaras, Ekadasha Ekadasamaswara to Shashtamaswara sthanas, it actually creates that equilibrium state for a normal being. Not every one of us have that capability of going beyond that. Saptamaswara sthana or Ashtamaswara sthana or Navamaswara sthana, Dashamaswara sthana, Ekadashamaswara sthana, Dwadashamaswara sthana. I know I might be harsh and hard, but it is a fact. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Kanchi Paramacharya again, Ramana Maharshi, Sri Krishna himself. All of these people had those powers. Shankaracharya also. See, let's try understanding Meru and Mahameru over here in the epilogue. Etymologically. Meru Akara, Makara, Akara, Rakara, Ukara. Here. And when Maha is added to this, Makara, Akara, Hakara, Ikara. Now this is the ultimate level of the human existence, if you see. Why am I talking in epilogue? I would have explained in my 28 videos. The reason is, when you understand Ekadashamaswara sthana to Shashtamaswara sthana levels, that's when you will be able to understand Meru and Mahameru. It's not as easy as it seems to be, ladies and gentlemen. That's the hard and harsh point. This is where that Shri Vidya Sadhana's test starts. From Saptamaswara sthana to Dwadashamaswara sthana. All of us will fail, including me. If you get at least, you know what is the pass mark or what is that pass? Sorry about that. What is that, level if you can pass? It's just 10%. To get to that level, it's not as easy as it seems. Understand this. So, the point is, why is it so difficult to attain? Here are the reasons which are as follows. Understand this. The moment you attain this state, the sadhana will have all the powers and will be able to even speak to animals and non-living beings. Now, what is happening is, whole of the gurus or whole of the so-called teachers have this innate ability. So what they are doing is, for commercial purposes, they are using and they are trying to manipulate everything, and they are like engrossed in using for all falsified reasons. That's the point which I am talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, understand this. Don't do this, for heaven's sake. Here you are actually like playing against the nature of law over here. And the intuition power and the aspect of Parakaya Pravesha will be easy. He or she would be able to read others' mind at a glance, at a first glance itself, at 1 second point, not 1 second. That's it. That's enough. And power of his vak will be strong enough. Thus, if he or she is telling anything, it will happen that very moment. That is the power which one gets. And Adding to this, the the uh, very aspect is you should not be misusing that. You should be using it exclusively, not any time and every time. Some of them are using these powers in the black magic Vashikarna aspect. I do not want to take anybody's name over here. I know a few dancers over here in North who have been like highest level of medallions, having highest level of awards also. He had those supernatural powers deep within, and he started misusing. I've gone through his whatever experiences that everyone had after interacting with you know with him. I really had a cry, literally tears rolled out of my eyes. If this is what actually we have interpreted, that's when I felt. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Once we use for negative purposes, though, here is where the negative vibrations of the sounds also really affects the same. When a dancer or when a classical musician is having or doing that classical dance form or rendering that rendition, ekaswarasthana to shashtamaswarasthana, it has to be pure and parity, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. And that is the reason why today none of them are attending. And everyone thinks that they know everything and they are big. Hard reality and harsh reality. Now, needless but need to understand how adverse effect the reactions will be for the human existence or the humanoid. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. I am not trying to exaggerate. I am not trying to demean any of the scholars here, or the scientists, or the medical professionals here. Though here the point is, Saptaswaras have those powers deep within. This is where the aspect of power of Saptaswaras one needs to understand. This is like directly or indirectly touching upon the individuals or touching upon the audience who are watching that rendition or the dance performance. In fact, those vibrations only will come to the individuals who are watching. This is the worst part. This is the sad part. Have we ever understood that? However, there have been many instances where the Saptaswaras used for the positive purposes here. Who are those exceptions? What are the exceptions to it? Dikshitar Shyama Shastri, Raghava Narayana Garu, Ustad Bismillah Khan, Shehnai Wadak. If you name, these are a few names which I wanted to take. They have used for the positive purposes. And they led their life that way. I don't want to take Rukmini Devi Arundel over here because Rukmini Devi Arundel was a rich person, rich individual, and having all the influence. Yet again, not everyone, she had one positive thing that could take Bharatnatyam to the next level. Likewise, if I take, likewise, if I take Rani Rashmani, she had a temple, she had all the health and wealth. She had all the wealth. But she regarded that divine entity. Understand this. And that's when she took Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. This is the difference, ladies and gentlemen. This is that divine approach one should be having. So, these are a few of the aspects which I wanted to really put it across as to where exactly the gaps are happening. Though I will not talk about the negative aspects and will not also. The reason being, if I tell what you call, tell the viewers about this is what you can do, this is what you can do, they will misuse that. That's the reason why I am taking that extra care and I am being extra cautious on that. And in fact, this has been and is being used in Kamakhya Devi's temple surroundings and other West Bengal areas, Assam area or North area, Northeast area. There is a place. Hard but harsh reality. Now coming to the test that will come into effect when the moment positive energy comes, that's when his or her mind will be inquisitive. And this is a proved point in Parakaya Pravesha. In Shankaracharya's case, once that Mandala Kala was over, Shankaracharya left the body. That's it. And he showed the followers that this is the way one should be living. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Likewise, Asuras and Suras. And they do exist in the universe. And they are existing in the 21st century also. I have seen pseudo gurus using them for becoming popular. If we see, if we see Kanchi Paramacharya, Shirdi Sai Baba, Dikshitar, Shyama Shastri, to name a few, They have gone far beyond the lines and words and alphabets to attain that highest level, but they have never misused it. They have never misused it. Unlike these gurus, who are the real gurus, I see many pseudo gurus like mushrooms, unfortunately. And they are propagating the wrong knowledge base to everyone and one and all. So, if I am talking about it by and large, about like this, there will be like many instances for that. And one of the sad part is that we are tailoring the very philosophical theology and very important study as a whole. Why should we be doing that? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this epilogue might be harsh and hard, but truth is always truth. One needs to accept it. Think about it. Thus, I conclude this video with a positive note. Stay blessed and have a real bliss. May the Guru's grace be with one and all. Have a nice day ahead.